Alright, good morning everybody. What's going on everyone? Hello. Hello, and welcome, my friends. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to my final consecutive streaming day for this week. Today's Monday, the 19th of October, 2020. And it's been a fun week. Man, we did a big variety of stuff this week, right? And we got pretty far and wrapped up certain games. We played a lot of the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War beta. It's been a good one. This next week is going to be cool too, because the next week coming up is going to be an interesting mix of new release content paired with finishing up ongoing playthroughs from the summer and early fall as we head into the busiest time of year. This next month is going to be absolutely ridiculous with the amount of game releases, with the new console releases. It's just going to be out of control. Okay, so that being said, today we're going to do something different that you guys have asked me for, alright, for a couple of weeks. A game that came out of nowhere, like literally came out of left field. I don't think anyone, excuse me, was expecting this to be as popular as it has become. Although, admittedly, I feel the reason that it became as popular as it is because, once again, it's free. Well, to some extent, and we're going to talk about that. Yes, today, on the main gameplay stream, my first session of the game called Genshin Impact, a free-to-play RPG, action-based RPG. A lot of people have compared it with the open-world exploration and combat of, say, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Okay? In fact, some people criticize the game, saying it's basically kind of almost a knockoff of Breath of the Wild in a lot of ways. But it has better combat systems, supposedly, from what I understand. Of course, it's very anime-ish. Which, of course, as you know, there's a certain group of people who really like games that are anime-ish, right? They have anime ties, and, you know, that whole cultural thing is just a big phenomenon when it comes to popularity. So it seems to be a unique combination of factors, but the thing that really, I think, is an interesting take, and the real reason that I kind of want to check it out, is that it's free to play, which is crazy to think about that. Free, completely free to play, but is rife with microtransactions, meaning you can play it at base level and spend $0 on anything, but will you actually be able to progress in the game and have fun with it, or is it cleverly disguised as a free-to-play game that really you have to spend money on in order to enjoy? That's the question, and that's the question that I am aiming to answer by checking out this game, because I am not going to spend $1 on it. I'm going to mess around with it as a free-to-play game and see what does the game entail. All right. Now, for what I'm going to understand, you get starter characters, and then the more you play, you can basically unlock characters and the like normally over time. Okay, but apparently it's like a slow grind, takes forever, and of course most people who like the game are just going to drop some money on it in order to get what they want right away. Instant gratification versus grinding endlessly to get it. Now, I've also heard that this game, when you get into the end game of it, is not very good. Like, I guess basically playing the game for like 20 to 30 hours at your own pace, not rushing it, can be quite fun. But apparently, once you actually get to near the end game, the game's kind of unfinished, is what I've heard. Like, it doesn't definitively have an ending that really is good or makes sense, and it's not fun. Like, it just becomes this kind of real endless grind, to the extent that some people have actually told me on my streams here over the last week that it feels like it's not done. Like, they're going to update it later to have a better definitive end game to it. Being that the game is only a couple weeks old, I mean, this is not shocking to hear. It may be that, you know, they're not expecting that every single person is going to dump a bunch of money into the game and get to the end game in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So, I guess we're going to see. Like I said, I am intrigued because people, since it launched, people have been asking me if I was going to check it out. And, you know, I was in the middle of other projects, and I had never heard of this game before, quite frankly. I didn't even know it existed. And then over the course of the last 2 weeks, I've heard things from viewers, I've heard things from my moderators here, that they've been playing the game and really enjoying it. And so it keeps it's intriguing when you hear other people enjoying a game that's a free-to-play experiment, right? How often do you hear about an open world RPG that's a free-to-play game with gotcha elements? Like, never, right? How often? Never. It's really been MMOs that have been free-to-play previously, when it comes to full-fledged console games. So, interested to see what the heck this is. Now, I'm going to say this also when I start actually recording gameplay, but I'm going to say a couple things up front so you guys understand the premise of what I'm doing here, alright? First of all, this is not a full playthrough of Genshin Impact, by any means. This is me checking out this game to see what it is. This week I'm going to play it today and possibly another couple times as late streams later in the week, okay? I'm just experimenting with the game to see what the hell it is. This is not me saying this is an official playthrough of Genshin Impact and I'm committing to finishing it, especially because we just finished a major JRPG in Fire Emblem Three Houses, and of course it was not an action-based RPG, but it was still an RPG. And right around the corner, okay, in a month's time, we've got Yakuza 7. And I'm just going to tell you guys, Yakuza 7 is 100% going to take priority when it comes to RPGs for me. That's one that I'm super interested in. I love the Yakuza series. I'm very intrigued to see how Yakuza can turn into a turn-based RPG and how well they're going to do with that. I've heard very good things about the game. So that's my focus. This is not something that's going to be an RPG focus for me in any major capacity. Essentially what this is a time filler. I have some time between now and when all these major new releases are hitting, and I have some opportunity with this time to check some of this stuff out and see exactly what it is. Okay? So that's what we're doing. That's why I'm doing this. It's going to be a full stream of this today as an introductory session, and then later in the week, I'm probably going to do a couple late night streams of it. And then based on that, we'll determine if I'm even going to continue playing it any further in the future, or okay, I've seen what it is, and here's my opinion on it, and that's that. Okay? Now, the other thing is, I fully know you guys are going to be joking constantly about waifus and shit, and you know I don't care about that. I don't play video games to have feelings for virtual characters. It's the last thing on my effing mind when I play a video game. For you, maybe it is. And if it is, that's fine. I'm not here to criticize you, but for me, it's not going to be about that. And if you haven't noticed, in the past couple of years, when I play games such as Judgment or Fire Emblem that have an element of virtual romance and shit in them, people tend to basically bother me on stream and bring it up all the time and say, are you going to do those missions? And what do you think about this girl and shit? I'm just not going to comment on that shit. So you could try as much as you want in the stream chat to try to derail my gameplay of this game. I'm not going to play that. If you try to cheer, sub, or tip to get my attention and talk about waifu shit, I'm just going to ignore you. Alright? It's that simple. Because I'm not into that culture. I'm just not. And the thing is, we were actually having an interesting conversation in the stream chat this morning about it. And one of the things that we talked about was, it really is about people who go to the extreme that kind of ruin shit for people. So, for example, the whole idea of the waifu culture, it's kind of a joke, really. It's supposed to be, who's the female character that you basically have an affinity for, which means maybe you could just like that character a lot as a character to play with, or their personality in the game. And that's a lot different than what these people take it to the extreme, and they start doing crazy shit, like lusting and obsessing over characters in a fucking video game, which I am not doing whatsoever. I am long past doing anything like that in my life. I'm way too old for it. I've got a beautiful life here in real life that I don't need to be having virtual feelings for fucking fake people, okay? But that's the thing. People know that about me, and they come to the streams to basically, some people do it in good nature, good humor, and they're just taking a silly jab or a silly joke here or there, which is different from those who come on here and will literally just harass me because they think that they can derail my stream by constantly bringing up this immature shit. So I'm just saying this up front. We're not playing that game. All right, we're not. You want to come and try to derail my stream, you're not going to be here any longer. You're going to be banned. It's one thing if you make a silly joke, and it's another thing if every 5 seconds you're bringing it up. That's not what this game is about. And hilariously, someone actually said this on the pre-stream today. They said, not only does this game have male characters, but the male character is the best one. Like, the best character in the whole game is a male character. So the whole idea that this is kind of a waifu game is a joke, really. It's people just kind of turning it into something that it's not for the sake of pushing an agenda, or, you know what I mean? So that's it. I'm not approaching it from that angle at all. I am going to actually just enjoy the game for what it is. And, you know, for me, I don't know what characters I'm going to get when we even start. I don't know how it works. I don't know if you get set characters to use in the game or if you actually get to roll for random characters at the beginning of the game. You know, some games let you do that. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens here and go from there. All right. But just to forewarn all of you, I'm not putting up with that shit. It's one thing if you want to take a joke here or there, but someone who keeps cheering or whatever and saying shit, waifu, 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 you're going to be banned from the chat, and I'm not going to put up with your bullshit, immature bullshit when I'm trying to put out an entertaining stream for my viewing audience. Okay? Just saying that up front. Just getting out of the way. That way we don't have to keep bringing it up during the playthrough. Okay? Fair enough? All right. So that being said, I'm excited for this because, like I said, I've heard people talk about this game for 2 weeks straight now. Some people saying it's actually like a candidate for Game of the Year for them, which is nuts because I didn't even know this game existed 2 weeks ago. So let's see what happens today. All right, let's hang out in the game. Let's enjoy it for what it is and go from there. And if it ends up being bad, no big deal. I'm not committing to playing it any further anyway. If it ends up being entertaining, well, then maybe we'll play some more of it. We'll see what happens. All right? Good stuff. Okay. Later tonight, my late stream is going to be Fall Guys, my weekly stream of Fall Guys. We've been doing it about once a week now. I figure we'll keep that up for now, unless, number one, we get bored of it, or number two, there's just not enough content to really support it being entertaining anymore. I guess we'll see if it gets stale. I think playing Fall Guys once a week is a good idea for variety's sake on the streams or whatever. So, there you go. So Fall Guys tonight. It should be fun. Now, I am not gonna be here tomorrow. It's my day off for the week. Be doing stuff with my wife, running errands and the like. I'll be back on Wednesday with a new game premiere. It is Amnesia Rebirth, the new Amnesia game from the makers of the original Amnesia game, The Dark Descent, as well as Soma, which was a game that had nothing to do with Amnesia, but a game that I actually really liked because of its psychological horror. It made you think rather than gave you cheesy jump scares and monsters chasing you. So, that starts Wednesday. I'm excited for it. And I hope you guys are excited too. A brand new horror game for Halloween month. It should be sweet, okay? Later on this week, it's not clear if it's coming out Thursday or Friday because the release date seems to say Thursday. But when was the last time you ever heard of a new game coming out on a Thursday? Right? So, supposedly, the final DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield called the Crown Tundra is coming out this week. Maybe on Thursday, maybe on Friday. I'm not 100% on when yet. It doesn't seem, it doesn't seem set. But anyway, I'm going to be doing that as well. So, the main streams this week are going to be alternating between Amnesia Rebirth and the Pokemon DLC. The night streams this week are going to have a variety of content, okay? Including the conclusion of Batman Return to Arkham City, where we're going to get the final trophies for the Riddler and then unlock the final Riddler dungeon and fight him. And basically that's going to finish off a playthrough from 9 years ago where I never really did all the content because it took so long to do the Riddler stuff. I mean, if anything, you've seen the past, it's taken a month of doing night streams to do all the Riddler shit. Finally, we're going to be able to do it. Okay? So that's coming up. Also, I'm going to conclude Super Mario Galaxy HD. I took a week's break from it, but we still have 2 of the purple coin stages left, and then I'm going to check out some of the stages with Luigi as the character, and basically just give it a send-off. You know, it was a really fun playthrough to do during the time when there was really nothing else going on with games, and I certainly, want to not skip on the ending here, so that's coming up at some point this week. We're going to have a late-night stream of Street Fighter on Friday as usual, and then what I'm thinking is probably we'll do 1 or 2 late-night streams of Genshin Impact as well, if it's good. If it's not good, we don't have to. But that would help to fill out the night streams this week. Okay? And, of course, later on, like Monday next week, we'll probably do Fall Guys and stuff like that. So that's this week. And then next week, we got multiple new releases for the end of the month, including Watch Dogs Legion. Also, from the Dark Pictures Anthology of Horror Games, Little Hope. And then my Halloween marathon at the end of the month, where I'll be doing a variety of games, okay, over the course of a day marathon on Halloween, and I'll also be dressing up in costume. Now, I did not close off the polls yet, and I did not close off the nominations yet for this event. I was going to do it, and I totally forgot to do it last night. So you guys have, like, a final moment to vote and nominate. Okay, it's your absolute last chance, because I forgot last night. So if you forgot yourself to nominate or vote on this event, you actually got a little bit of bonus time here. Okay. So that being said, type !marathon into the stream chat. All right, and that will allow you to nominate games for this marathon. Type !costume into the stream chat, and you'll be able to vote on a costume that I'll be wearing for the marathon. Last I checked, which was last night, it was between pop culture icon and video game character. I have good ideas for both, and I think it was only like a 2% voting difference between the two. So today is the absolute last chance for you to do this, okay? All right. So, oh man, stretching. Sorry, I had to stretch out of nowhere. All right, so please do so. And then after the Halloween event, of course, we head into November, which is going to be a super busy gaming month, which I'm also excited for. So good stuff all around. Good stuff coming up. Hope you guys are excited for the streams and excited for all the new release stuff that's right around the corner. All right. Okay, let's see here. So, let's see here. I had a couple things to talk about. I'm trying to remember what they were. Well, folks, if you're not aware, today is the 10th anniversary, 10 years since the release of Fallout New Vegas. Wow. A decade, guys. A freaking decade since the release of that game. Now, for those who don't know, I was laid off from my full-time office job back in September, late September. It was like the last day of September, 2010. And so, 10 years ago, I had just started doing YouTube as a full-time thing. It was my first experience being a content creator as a job and trying it out for a living and seeing how it would work. And so it was a big experiment for me. All right. And I remember particularly with Fallout New Vegas, this was a game that I pre-ordered the collector's edition. All right. And I picked it up, came home that night at midnight, unboxed the collector's edition, which had a ton of crap. I remember it had a whole playing deck of cards, which is all the characters from the game. It had some dice from the game. It actually had the poker chip. The poker chip that's part of the plot of the game. It gave you a replica poker chip. Okay? So it was really neat doing release day unboxing on this brand new game. All right? And then playing the game. And I remember absolutely loving the game. It was like Fallout 3, but more added story, more quirkiness. It actually made the combat a little bit more bearable, because let's face it, Fallout 3's combat is pretty clunky in some parts. And I felt that New Vegas kind of expanded upon it and made it better in a lot of ways. Absolutely. Fallout New Vegas was one of my favorite games, not only of that year of 2010, but of that console generation. That game was outstanding, one of the best RPGs that existed at the time. Okay, you guys remember the memes that came out of it? The Boone meme, right, came out of that game. Man, and I seriously, to this day, I still remember playing it and just loving how the different towns felt so unique and different. You return to them and you have characters who were part of the plot who you got to know better over the course of the game. And first game where really the ghouls kind of took a front seat. You know, in Fallout 3, the ghouls were more seen as like I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know. I really liked the game, and it was something that got me into like being immersed, because previously, you know, I had done YouTube videos for a year and a half, but it was always my hobby, not my job, and it was me just kind of dicking around with whatever game I was playing. I guess there were a few exceptions, like Arkham Asylum, when I had taken time off of work to play it, definitely was an exception where I wanted to get immersed in a game. But a lot of the times it was just, let's just run the fuck through the game, rush through it. And New Vegas was the opposite. New Vegas was like, this game is so well written, and there's so much great content, and there's so many ways to do things, whether you want to talk with charm, or you just want to fight your way through, or you want to solve with tech skills and puzzles. You know, it really blew me away how good the game was. Okay, and, you know, if anything, this definitely shows how different things are 10 years later. You know, back then, like I said, I bought the collector's edition, and I did a release day unboxing of the collector's edition that revealed to the world the content of that collector's edition. And for a lot of people, that was the only opportunity they had to see that content. While today, every collector's edition is revealed early. People, you know, the very, how do I say it? The content creators that are selected to be the special few get everything early. So they get the collector's edition early, they unbox it early, everyone sees the content early. So it's not even like it's special anymore, because it's you don't have that feeling like this is something that's happening on release day and we're kind of experiencing it together. Instead, it's like, well, I guess that content was put together for lucky people who were selected to be, you know, paid advertisers. And it just feels so different today than it did 10 years ago. It just does. It's just a different climate. You know, corporations have ruined it for a lot of people, including me. You know, that was my thing back then, to be the normal guy who lined up just like you guys at midnight to get his games at launch, rush home, and with a lot of anticipation and hype and excitement, unbox the game, show you the content, and jump right into the game and get you that fresh gameplay the first moment that it's possible. That, you know, that was such an awesome, special feeling. And with the New Vegas, that was one of the games at the forefront of me doing that stuff. And it's all gone now because they ruined it because of their greed, you know? Let's just pick a special few to be able to put out paid advertisement content for us and shill the shit out of our products. And now it just doesn't feel the same at all. You know, that magic is kind of lost because of these scumbags who are so greedy. So it is what it is. But, you know, it harkens back to 10 years ago how different content creation was, right? Today, you know, do I play games at release? Yes. But am I rushing to play the game at midnight? No, because people already have a full playthrough. I'm not even kidding you. I couldn't believe this. So the other day, I was uploading videos to YouTube, my, you know, daily uploads. In related videos, someone already has a playthrough up of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm not kidding. The game doesn't come out for almost a month. There's a playthrough up already. Someone, and by the way, it's not someone who stole the game and broke the rules. This is someone who was hand-selected by Ubisoft to play the game early. And has tons, it's not the full playthrough, but he's got a bunch of videos up of the game already. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Right? So, see what I mean? How different it is now versus how it used to be? That magic is lost of that feeling that we all get to play the game together as a release title and have that cool hype together, because the hype's ruined weeks ahead of time because of this fucking shilling processes. It's fucked up. But anyway, you know, I do miss things of how they were a decade ago in a lot of ways, but at the same time, of course, today we have fun interactive streams, and you know, I still get to play the new releases with you guys. We still get to have, you know, fun gaming times together, see the live reactions of everyone together, and, you know, listen, I'm not complaining about what I do today. I love the way that I do content creation today, but it definitely shows, you know, how things were very different a decade ago with a game like Fallout New Vegas versus how they are now, right? Definitely. Oh my goodness, excuse me. All right, so anyway, guys, I digress. Happy 10-year anniversary to Fallout New Vegas. By the way, I've played the game twice. I played it at launch, and then a few years later, I want to say it was like maybe 2-3 years later, I replayed it again. So, give it a look. Both playthroughs, I believe, are live right now on DSPGaming on YouTube, that you can give them a look. Now, here's the thing. I almost guarantee you those playthroughs are screwed up because of the music. You know, back then I played the full music in the games, and all that old-timey music over the years has been content ID claimed, ID matched, blocked over YouTube. So I wouldn't be surprised if you told me that you tried to watch those old school playthroughs and they're muted. Oh, cannot be seen in my region and shit. Just sucks. That's what YouTube does. They've ruined their website over the years. And some people have actually asked me, even as recent as last week, they said, would you replay New Vegas at some point? And I answered, yeah, I would. What we'll do, maybe if the new Fallout is announced and it's going to come out maybe then what we could do is replay some old school Fallout games, redo New Vegas as a playthrough again. So this would be my third playthrough of it. But the game is just that goddamn good. It is. It's that good that it would be okay to do a third playthrough. I wouldn't feel like, oh god, I'm playing this again. You know? Okay. So anyway, happy 10th anniversary to Fallout New Vegas. And by the way, if it's a game you've never checked out, even as old as it is right now, and as the fact that it's probably very outdated graphically, and it's probably still chock full of bugs because it's an open world game, I still recommend you give it a look. It's such a good game. And of course, you know, there's people now who are like speculating because Microsoft has bought out Obsidian, right? And Obsidian, oh, excuse me, and also Microsoft bought out Bethesda, is the other thing I meant to say. And since Obsidian Entertainment is the group that made Fallout New Vegas, but then they split from Bethesda to do their own thing, but now technically they're under the same umbrella as Bethesda yet again, now people are wondering, will we get a New Vegas 2, right? And honestly, I think it would sell like hotcakes, especially because Obsidian, you know, made The Outer Worlds and showed that they could do that kind of Fallout-style game without the property. You know, without Bethesda's backing, without the property, they made a Fallout-style game that was outstanding. So I would say, shit, they could probably make a really awesome New Vegas 2 now that everything's under the same umbrella again. But I'm sure that would be way far off because Obsidian's already working on other games, as we know. So, okay. There you go. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else going on right now? Not really. Okay, we're going to get to shout-outs, guys. All right, and by the way, I should bring this up. Today is the beginning of a new streaming week, meaning that all the stats for the stream have reset. The leaderboards for top cheerer as well as sub-gifting for the week have reset overnight and are back to 0. So if you cheer today, chances are you're going to get up on that leaderboard because, you know, super easy to do so. If you gift a sub today, chances are you're going to get up on that leaderboard. Super easy to do so. So just throwing that out there, if you want to contribute today and get some recognition, very, very easy to do so via those methods. Okay? Now, there's one thing I have to say, guys, and this is, I have to appeal to you. I have to at this point. I need your help. All right? This last week, well, let me take that back. These last couple of weeks, all right, has been a problem for me because I have had a ton of things going on behind the scenes, i.e. chargebacks against my PayPal account for tips that have completely screwed me over. You know, and it's not, oh, someone gave me $1,000 tip and I stupidly believed that it was real. This is like every few days during the month of September, someone would tip me like $20 here, $50 here, $30 here, and I couldn't tell what was legit and what wasn't. All right, it screwed me over to the point where I'm not exaggerating. When I tell you that my PayPal account has been in the negative and then it gets back to the positive, then back to the negative again. This is not good. Here's why. Tips are what I use to go do daily stuff when I go out on my days off. For example, grocery shopping, supplies for Jasper or the house or whatever. You know, the once a week that I get to eat out with my wife, that kind of stuff. Gasoline for the car, maintenance on the car, which I did recently. I had to get an oil change actually. All that kind of stuff, you know, all weekly expenses that are outside of the realm of the business, meaning I'm not talking about game costs, I'm not talking about electricity, I'm talking about things that I do that are necessary spending, I use tips for. And sadly, I basically am getting screwed over here because of a malicious person who gave me a bunch of false tips slowly and methodically. They did it this way so that they would fuck me over and I wouldn't know it. Okay, now today, the truth of the matter is today, I'm wise to it. And I see when this person tries to give me fake tips, I can identify it and I can immediately refund it. So I know that there's no issue and I'm not going to get charged back. So the good news is moving forward, I should be protected. If you guys noticed this week, I had to completely turn off pop-up messages for tips because this person was giving me so many fake tips, basically stolen credit cards, were being used to give me tips on the stream that I knew were going to be charged back, so I would just immediately refund them. But this person was being so disgusting and malicious, nasty ass messages on my streams, I had to turn off the pop-up messages for tips. Okay? But this guy or woman, who knows, has basically put me into a really bad position. Now, truthfully, because you guys know I like to be transparent, there's been positive stuff going on for me behind the scenes because, you know, there's been a lot of cheering going on here on the streams, and in that regard, that's very supportive. But the thing is, any positive benefit that I see from these cheers is supposed to go towards things like paying for the PlayStation 5 and the very large amount of new games that I have to buy over the next month. In fact, I did the math, and it looks like it's about 12 new games, some of which are going to be $70 plus tax, some of which will be cheaper. But in essence, I'm going to be spending probably in the next month between $1,500 to $2,000, all right, on game cost, which is very rare that I have to spend that much money in a short period of time. So even though it sounds great that, oh, Phil got all these great cheers, it's helping him, the truth of the matter is, yes, but that money is already accounted for. And now, in the situation that I'm in, all these chargebacks that I got against my PayPal account, that's fluidity. That's money that normally I would use for my daily stuff, and I don't have it. It got taken from me because it was false shit over the course of September. Okay? So, why am I appealing to you? Not because I want people to go above and beyond and to contribute to the stream in a way they normally wouldn't. That's not the case. What I'm asking is today, if you're going to contribute and you have an option to choose, gee, how should I contribute to Phil if I want to help him out? It's cool he's finally playing Genshin Impact, which we asked for 2 weeks. He listened to our feedback. You know, I want to support that stream. You could support in any way that you want. You can cheer, you can sub, you could tip, you could pledge to my Patreon, you could buy some merch from my Teespring store. That's all appreciated. But the way you could help me out the most right now in the short term is by tipping me. And I really need the help today. This weekend in particular, tips were actually slow. And it was at the worst possible time for that to happen because I had all these chargebacks going on for the last 2 weeks. You know, I'm trying to get my PayPal account consistently out of the red, and I haven't been able to do it because every day I keep getting more chargebacks that are negating any tips that I'm making, which is not good. I'll tell you right now what's going to happen. Tomorrow I'm going to go out, and unless I make a significant amount of tips today on stream, okay, being very honest with all of you, I now have to spend money out of what's in my savings for all these games coming up in the next month to just do the normal shit. You know, it'll be hundreds of bucks. Now, if I can't make that up in the next few weeks, now what happens? Do I have enough money for everything? And this is what I mean. I don't want to have these concerns. I just want to be able to focus and play games and have fun and not have to worry about this stupid shit. This is so dumb that some shithead put me into this position. Okay? So, what I would say is this. I'm not asking for anything above what anyone would normally contribute to my streams at all. Contributions are not mandatory on my streams at all. Nothing is expected. But if you were already considering contributing to the streams, right now I really need the help. And right now, tipping me is the way to go. I need the help. Today in particular is the last chance for me to raise anything to try to spend for this week coming up. In fact, you know, not only do I have to go out tomorrow and do normal stuff, but then I gotta buy Amnesia, right? I have to actually buy a new game for when I come back on Wednesday. So that's what, 30 to 60 bucks. I haven't even looked at the price yet. So, see what I mean? Like, it sucks because it's not your fault at all. It ain't my fault. It's some malicious asshole who screwed me over the course of last month, unbeknownst to me. And now, finally, I know it's not going to keep happening because I can identify when this shit is happening and I can shut it down and stop it from happening. But it just sucks that I'm in a position here where, you know, I have to ask you guys for help. I don't like doing it. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, I haven't had to really do this since March of this year. When March started and we had the vest streak going, oh my God, you know, every day the tips were out of control. You guys were so over the top supportive to keep that vest streak going. But I knew the vest streak was eventually going to end. And then it seemed like as soon as the vest streak ended, that's when this guy jumped in to try to fuck me over. Like he was plotting this all along, that when the vest streak stops, now we'll get him, right? Now we're going to get him with all this fake contributions and he'll never suspect a thing, right? So, In summary, please, if you can contribute today via tipping, please do. I really need the help. And FYI, oh my god, my whole stream chat is freezing. Holy shit. Anyway, I'm trying to refresh it so I can actually see what you guys are saying, but and here you go. I'm just gonna ban idiots in the stream chat who are gonna be fucking negative, because you know, when someone really needs help, that's when you stomp on them, right? You stomp on their balls and you make them feel like shit. That's what you do, right? That's when you do it. When they're appealing honestly to their audience for help, that's when you're a jerk to them, right? Well, goodbye, and no one will miss you. Anyway, yes, if you can, please tip me today. I'd appreciate it. We have the usual tips goals in place. If I raise $50 in tips, I'll put on the Gunner glasses. $100, it's vest time. And right now, the last vest we wore was the camo vest yesterday during Call of Duty. So that means all vests would be eligible except the camo. So that's beige, blue, red, gray, and platinum. Yes, platinum, everyone's favorite. But also today, so listen up, guys. Today, I am not going to be wearing the headphones because yesterday I wore them all day long. I was wearing them for Amnesia and then for Call of Duty. I want to give my ears a rest regardless. So that means that today, on either stream, either this Genshin Impact stream or my Fall Guys stream later tonight, if we double the tips goal, that would be $200 raised. On either stream, I'm going to put on the cowboy hat, which you guys have asked for since March. And I basically shut down at that point and said, no, I don't want to do it. Well, I'm becoming more flexible now because I'm not necessarily wearing the headphones every day anyway. So if I'm not wearing the headphones, there's nothing to prevent me from wearing the hat. Okay? So there you go. Now, I'm not saying that that's any motivation for you to tip. I'm just saying people have been asking for it for months. Okay? So there you go. We're doing it. We're doing it. All right? Fair enough? $50. Gunner glasses, $100 a vest, and then $200 the cowboy hat today. Either stream. Okay? Alright. Let's get the shout-outs. I don't like doing giant fucking plugs like that. It pisses me off. I haven't had to do it for so long this year, and now I have to go back to fucking doing it because of this asshole. And it doesn't make me feel very good, let me tell you. But I fully of the opinion that this isn't going to last forever, that it's going to finally calm down with the stupid chargebacks, and you know, we're going to get through this super busy gaming month, and people are going to come out and be supportive of the streams during all these new releases, and things are going to get better, all right? I got to be positive and believe that, so. Okay. Shout-outs. We start off with Big Fat Jiggly Waifu Titties, which, by the way, there's no way I'm going to read that name a million times today if this guy cheers. I'm just going to call him Big Fat Jiggly. So anyway, he cheered and said, Genshin Impact sees description. Ah, fuck. Yes, because as I said already on this very pre-stream, I'm not going to play the stupid waifu game. I'm not going to let people derail my streams because of it. I understand that it's a running joke. That's fine if you every once in a while want to take a jab or make a silly joke. It's different when every 5 seconds you're bothering me about waifu shit. I'm not going to put up with it, and you're not going to be here during the course of the playthrough. You're going to be banned if you keep bothering me, okay? So just know that ahead of time. So then he cheered again and said, it's going to be hard, but I will do my best not to talk about them. There you go. The first tip of today was from Big Bad Buffoon, who tipped me $1 and said, I recently read the country of Ireland ruled Subway bread is not real bread because it's pure sugar. Not that it's pure sugar, but the bread actually has too much sweetener in it to be considered real bread. They said it's actually closer to cake than bread because of the sugar content of it. How funny is that? You know, what do you think of this? I thought Subway was supposed to be a healthy alternative to fast food. Subway is not healthy in any way, shape, or form. All right? In fact, if you actually do research on this, which I did a long time ago because it was hilarious that everyone was saying Subway was such healthy food, and I was going there and eating it, and it was tasting disgusting. I was like, how could this possibly be healthy? All right? The only actual way to eat healthy at Subway is to eat the flatbread, not the regular, you know, Subway sandwich rolls, but the flatbread that they offer, and to basically get all veggies and maybe like 1 or 2 slices of meat, because their meat has high sodium content, which is bad for you, and it's chock full of fucking preservatives that are bad for you. Their bread is incredibly high in sugar content, and also at one point had ingredients in it that are also made to make yoga mats, because they basically wanted to have their bread be spongy and basically last a million years. So they were putting all these ingredients in it that were making it last longer, but it was disgusting what was being put in it. Now, they actually did away with that because they got called out about it. All right? But, yeah, so if you get flatbread and you put a bunch of veggies on it and maybe a little bit of salt and pepper, oil and vinegar, not a lot of oil, you know, that could be considered healthy. And if you eat that every day, and maybe if you get like the super lean turkey sub, which is just like 2 or 3 slices of turkey with a bunch of veggies on it, yeah, that could be considered healthy. But like 90% of the sandwiches at Subway are unhealthy for you, just like any other fast food. Now, are they as bad as fully fried, deep fried fast food? No. But they're not good for you. And it's a major marketing campaign of Subway saying eat fresh and that Subway's healthy, you know, that basically has fooled the American public into thinking that Subway is some kind of health food when it's definitely not. So, no. Subway is absolutely not health food, and no one should ever consider it being health food. Unless you're just eating veggies on a flatbread. Okay? Big Bad Buffoon tipped another $1, and he said, would you consider during the Christmas marathon dressing up as Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation? I keep seeing costumes around during the holidays. I thought it would be funny. Well, I'm not sure what Cousin Eddie costume it would be. Like, during Christmas Vacation, he was basically just in a Christmas sweater and a holiday hat the whole show, right? Like, he basically just kind of looked like anyone's uncle, if I'm remembering correctly, right? Like, he didn't necessarily have any kind of a special outfit, unless maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe, the thing is, I haven't seen this costume you're talking about. So, by the way, I already wear holiday sweaters during my Christmas marathon anyway. So I guess it could be regarded that I kind of do dress up as that, right? Okay, anyway, continuing on, Isaac Becerra tipped me $1 and says, apparently there is a new theme for the PlayStation 4, a free Black Lives Matter theme. Well, for anyone who's interested, there's a new Black Lives Matter theme that's free on PS4. I'm not going to use it because, number one, I don't even show my PS4 dashboard that often, and number two, I really haven't even done anything with dashboards in a million years. So right now, I have the Ghost of Tsushima dashboard theme, but before then, I had Star Wars. What was it? What was the one from last year? Jedi Outcast or whatever it was. I had that as my dashboard theme almost a year because I don't really care. You know, I don't pay attention to the dashboard themes anymore. So you know, I rarely update it. I'm curious because I barely even pre-order games anymore. So I'm curious if I'll even get any new dashboard themes this year for pre-ordering any games, because I don't even know if I'm going to pre-order any games. And quite frankly, once I get my PS5, I'll be using my PS4 less and less anyway. So it ain't going to be a big deal. So thank you for the tip. Snow Carl tipped me $1. I said, speaking about early access for creators, hold on a second. I'm going to update the tips total here as we read this. Do you think it would be more fair if content creators would pay to get access to games early rather than being selected arbitrarily, and would you do it? I don't think anyone should get early access at all. Whether it's, oh, you're the golden child streamer or content creator who was selected to be the paid PR campaign for a company, or if you pay for exclusive early access to a game. No, I don't think that anyone should be getting early access to any of this shit, period. They just shouldn't. Everyone should have to get it at the same time. No one should be exclusively special that they get anything early. I hate that, you know, for someone who's been doing this for 12 years, and the very few times that I've ever accepted a promotional copy of a game, or even played a game early, which was, 3 times in 12 years? I mean, that should be a testament to the fact that I just disagree with the practice, and I think that it's wrong, and it basically creates artificial hype for a game, and it basically becomes paid advertisement for a game that should not be. It's irresponsible. It's not, what can I say? Basically, it's like you're misrepresenting yourself. If you're a content creator, you know, and you're basically putting out content for an audience, and then all of a sudden, oh, I got a game early, of course all you're going to do is say positive shit about it, or at least you're going to be inclined to only say positive shit about it, in which case it's dishonest. and immoral, quite frankly. And again, this is my opinion. You can completely disagree. I don't care if you go fucking watch some top streamer play a game early. That's your prerogative. But for me, I've never been of that impression that that's something of value. It's like you're watching a shill. It's the same as if you're watching a fucking infomercial for the chopper, right? The fucking chop shopper or whatever the fuck it's called. Imagine if you were watching, you know, a top streamer. Look at this, chop shop. Look, I can chop on carrots. Wow, he's totally not getting paid for that, right? But that's what they're doing when they're playing these games early. So if that's what you want, I guess that's fine. If that's the kind of content you like. But for me, I've always prided myself on being someone who is genuine in the stuff that I'm putting out, you know? So all I'll say is, hey, I don't agree with the practice at all. I don't think anyone should pay to get early access. I don't think anyone should be selected to get early access. There should just be no early access. You know, you want to provide a copy of that to Games Media, and the Games Media plays an exclusive hour preview and puts up an article on their website about their impressions. That's very different than giving the actual full game to a streamer who's allowed to play it like a week early and gets ridiculous amounts of views and income from their viewership because you chose them to be a paid shill. You see, I completely disagree with that practice. All right. Iconic Christian did a 100-bit cheer, and so far that's the biggest cheer of the day. So let's get Iconic Christian up on the leaderboard here. And he says, I'm playing Genshin Impact on mobile for a few days now, and I really like it. It reminds me of Breath of the Wild open world type game, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, Iconic Christian, and I hope I enjoy it too. We're going to find out. I did like Breath of the Wild, right? All right, well, Big Fat Jiggly just gifted a sub to Black Tuna Cobbler? Okay, then. Big Bad Buffoon tipped another $1. He says, you mentioned you would consider playing New Vegas for a third time. This got me wondering if you've played any game on stream for 3 times or if you only went back to a game like once. To my knowledge, the only game that would have been a third playthrough would have been like Dark Souls, right? Because I think Dark Souls 1, I did an original playthrough, then I went back and did a tour of Dark Souls 1 with my audience, where they kind of just walked me through the whole game. Then I did a redemption run of Dark Souls 1, where I went back and just happened upon the Black Knight Halberd, which made the game insanely easy, and I went through Dark Souls 1 with the Black Knight Halberd. And then I played Dark Souls 1 a 4th time, this time around a magic build. Alright, and that one was actually Dark Souls Remastered, although technically it's still Dark Souls 1. So actually I've done 4 playthroughs of Dark Souls 1. The first playthrough was never finished, though. So I guess you could technically say 3 playthroughs of Dark Souls 1 and 1 was unfinished. That's probably the game I've played the most through on stream. So, alright, Big Fat Jiggly gifted a sub to Kane Z7. Congratulations, Kane Z7. Again, thank you for the support. Conversalism cheered and said, good day, Phil. Are you expecting new exposure to new people with a crazy gaming month? Have you some kind of growth expectation? I mean, let me put it this way. This time of year is the time when you're going to see growth in a major way, if it's going to happen. Because I'm going to be playing vast majority of the big AAA releases coming out in the next month to month and a half. I'm going to be covering the PlayStation 5 launch when I get my PS5, whenever that happens to happen. Okay? And if anything's going to happen where people are going to come and check me out for the first time, it would probably be because I'm playing the new stuff, right? I have zero expectation of that. I have a hardcore viewer fan base that supports me no matter what I do and where I go. And they're my life's blood who have kept me going for the past decade, you know? And I appreciate that very much. Although, I'll say this, I absolutely appreciate new viewership, and I appreciate those who maybe come in and they say, wow, I'm just checking out your stuff for the first time and I enjoy it. Just as much as the long-standing viewers, you guys are important to me because keeping things fresh and getting new people to the streams is obviously important. But the thing is, there's not much I can do about it, right? I've been around for 12 years, and people on the internet already have impressions of me and what they think about me, even though many of them have never even seen my content before. Depending on how you got your first exposure to me, whether it was another content creator mentioning me in either a positive or negative light, whether it was a stupid meme on the internet you heard about me, whether you watched a negative video about me somewhere and you just wanted to give me an honest shot by checking out my raw stream content and see what it was like. There's many different ways I'm sure that people hear about me and then come check out the content. If anything, I would think this time of year with the new games coming out, this is going to bring in new viewers. So, do I have an expectation of anything? No. I just do what I do. I sit here and I play fun video games and I interact with my audience in a positive way on a daily basis, and that's enough for me, you know? That's what I'm here for. And as long as we can do that and get that opportunity to do that every day, that's all I care about. Okay? But absolutely, hey, anyone who comes in is a newcomer, welcome to the streams. Maybe I get some people here coming here today because they're interested in what I'm going to think about Genshin Impact, right? Welcome. Okay. Excuse me, I almost skipped one. iTone tipped me $1.50, says, I tip my fedora to you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the contribution. Thank you, iTone. Wings Pulling Strings tipped me $4.20, and so far, that's the biggest tip of the day, so let's get that up on the leaderboard. Did I spell that right? No, I didn't. $4.20. Let's do that. Let's do $10. Here we go. Okay, so Wings Pulling Strings says, have you considered getting co-streamers for the hours of 11 p.m. to 9 a.m.? You can get 50% of the money they make, and they keep your viewers up. Fextra Life has multiple people streaming throughout the day. Some of their Genshin Impact streams have 15,000 viewers. Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure that Fextra Life is much bigger than I am. Fextra Life has desire to have someone watch their content 24/7. I'm not saying that maybe there wouldn't be people who would tune in during those off hours when it's not me live. But what you have to understand is something. Number one, I'm responsible for all content put out on this channel. It is my channel. I own it. Therefore, anyone who broadcasts on this channel... Now, I'm not saying people who I'm hosting. That's different. Hosting is just you're showing off someone else's channel. That's different. But if I were to have people actually broadcasting under my umbrella, under the name of Darkside Phil here, on this stream, I'm responsible for what happens. So what happens if someone's broadcasting and they do something bad, right? They say something they're not supposed to say. They start talking about politics and they say incendiary stuff, or they let their viewing audience goad them into saying stuff on stream that they shouldn't be saying. Guess who's responsible for that? Me, myself, and I, because I'm the one who trusted them and put them on my stream, right? And trust me, I know exactly what would happen. You would have the trolls who try to get my goat all day, would probably go in even harder on someone who was broadcasting on my channel because they know, wow, here's someone who, if they fuck up, they screw over Phil, and that would be hilarious. We could inadvertently screw over Phil for something he didn't even do, right? So, you know, basically the answer is no, I'm not going to do that. Plus, let's be honest here, who the hell would do that? Who would broadcast from 11 p.m. to 9 a.m. and who would want to do that on my channel and give up 50% of the revenue to me? That doesn't even sound kosher to me, so no. Okay, continuing on. iTone to me another $1.51 and says, what if anime was real? If anime was real, we'd all be fucked because there's some really weirdo shit in anime that's fucked up. So the whole world would be screwed, and you know, we'd be sucked into the 5th level of hell, I guess. Thank you for the tip. That British lad tipped me $5. That's now the biggest tip of the day. So let's get that up on the leaderboard. Here we go. That is not correct. $16, not 61. Okay. So that British lad says the following. Would you still consider sponsorship since your presence isn't as much on YouTube anymore? Do you think you have a better chance now with getting negativity against that particular sponsor? Huh? There's no way I could do sponsorships. I know this. I've tried it, and every time I try it, these very, very crazy people ruin it for me. Because what they do is they find the sponsor on the internet, whoever they may be, and they basically spam the social media with the most disgusting, toxic, slanderous, defamatory stuff about me that's not true, and they basically make it so that that sponsor is so inebriated, that's not what I meant to say, so inundated, so piled on with negative shit about me, that they just don't want to deal with it anymore. This has happened with game developers, who I played their games under the sponsored streams offers here on Twitch. This has happened with products, right, that I tried to do a partnership with. They just do it no matter what because they know they can get away with it because they're anonymous pussies on the internet and they can get away with shit like this, you know? So they just do it because they know that it negatively hurts someone and they could do it. Now, here's the thing. I've actually recently saw a video of someone who's a professional, I don't know if they were psychologist or I think psychologist. And basically what they did is they did a profile on the kind of people who would do internet trolling. And he actually even, he broke it down to the point where he described like minor internet trolling versus people who do it like majorly. Okay? And here's what he said. He basically said that people who do that shit, because I never understood, I was like, how could these people do this to me? People who don't know me, people who have no association with me, people who I've never met, why would they go out of their way to completely ruin business opportunities and everything for me? Like, why would you do that? Okay? So he broke it down and he essentially said people like that, they, number one, have no ability to empathize. They can't actually put themselves in the shoes of someone else to see how their actions negatively can affect someone else. To them, there is no feeling of empathy at all. So they actually take pleasure in seeing the pain of others because they can't understand or feel the pain of others. They're basically numb inside. They're not complete humans. That's the kind of people who like doing this malicious shit. They also said, and this is interesting too, when you are into trolling culture and you watch things such as trolling videos, drama videos, and you basically revel in the pain of others, it actually has a tendency to convince you to do the same kind of action. So all the years that people have been making negative videos about me, this is how you don't play, and slanderous videos about myself and my family members under the guise of, oh, it's just lighthearted trolling and it actually isn't meant to hurt Phil, it's just meant in good fun. The truth of the matter is there's a group of people out there who have no empathy. And because they have no empathy, when they watch me hurt, they actually get pleasure out of it and don't understand why it's wrong. So then they go do it. They join in the hurting, right? So the truth is that even though all these people who want to pretend like what they were doing over the years was innocent and lighthearted, and there's no way that this could hurt Phil, we didn't intend to hurt Phil, it literally created a giant legion of people who are messed up in the head, who have latched onto this mentality that it's okay to hurt Phil, ruin opportunities for Phil, and fuck with Phil's life just because other people have done it. This is coming from a psychiatrist, by the way. Again, this is not coming from me making it up. This is a medical professional, okay, who has confirmed all the things that I've been saying over the years. All right? So you might say, I don't understand why people would ruin these sponsorship opportunities for Phil. This is why. Because they've now been conditioned over the last decade to think that this is fine. They have no ability to feel bad for anything they do because they don't understand the pain of others. All they do is they get pleasure out of the pain of others. So to them, it's when they see other people making fun of me, they could take it to the extreme and it's okay in their heads. They're not mentally complete people. They don't think rationally like you and me. They have no moral compass like you and me. Instead, they just do this disgusting shit because they can get away with it and it makes them feel good just to hurt others for no reason. That's pretty fucked up when you really think about it. Okay? It's pretty fucked up. That is correct. It's sadistic. Quantified said the word sadistic. It's sadistic, but actually, this psychiatrist also said it actually shows not even like sociopath tendencies. It's actually psychopathic tendencies. Because if you go after someone trolling in a calculated way, see, there's a difference between, oh, you're laughing at someone because of their misfortune versus I actually went out of my way to try to ruin someone's life. That it goes past the level of sociopath and actually goes into the level of psychopath. But these people don't want to believe that. They just want to think, oh, trolling's fine. Fucking with someone's life is fine. Everything's fine, right? There's no, shouldn't ever feel bad about anything. Because someone put themselves on the internet, nothing's off limits. Just completely try to ruin their life. It's perfectly fine because they're messed up in the head. And the thing is, there's a giant group of people who have created a community of people who are messed up in the head who want to fuck with me constantly. It's pretty sick. Anyway, let's continue on. I don't want to go on about this forever. Conversalism cheered and said, out of curiosity, do you know there are different kinds of salts, regular table salt, the Alexander or pink salt, and even black salt with a high sulfur content? They sell them in certain food stores, and I use them. Oh, I'm well aware. Just like they have salts that aren't meant for consumption, but they could do things such as if you're doing a soak in a tub and you use bath salts, right? And they're meant to cleanse the skin and stuff like that. Yeah, there's tons of different kinds of salts. That is correct. R Breezy resubscribed for 13 months. Thank you, R Breezy, for the support. Griffin Box tipped me $1 and says, this thing that this guy said earlier about Eddie, the cousin Eddie, in a Christmas Vacation is actually, if you can believe this, listen to this. It's the stupid detractor meme about trying to get me to wear a turtleneck. The detractor meme that I still don't understand, has never been explained to me, and makes no sense. This is some kind of a sneak attempt to reference that meme. How stupid does that sound? Boy, these people are dumb. Hygienic Streamer Tips tipped me $1. Said, hope you're well. Do you think Hunter Biden will get a new laptop for Christmas? Sounds like he needs one. Well, who knows what to believe. I don't really care. I don't buy into the political shit. So anyway, thanks for the $1 tip. Griffin Box tipped another $1. Speaking of early access, how excited are you to be playing Bugsnat's Couch Co-op with Adam Sessler? Oh, man. Let me tell you something. When me and the Sessler put our heads together, the world will never be the same. So you better just hope that that never really happens, okay? Golden Nobles gifted a sub to Joe Ski. By the way, that's not true. I'm not doing anything with Adam Sessler. Golden Nobles gifted a sub to Joe's Key. Congratulations, Joe's Key. Thank you, Golden Nobles, for the channel support. My Milk Tea 707 resub for 21 months. Thank you, Milk Tea, for the support and the resub. Jay Hawkwood cheers. I think the game will cause growth, if you know what I mean. So here we go. Here's a joke. Thank you for the cheer. Bubble Buddy cheers. I think I loved about your content. You make your own, even if the game may not appeal to everyone. Keep that up. I like originality. That's what you have. You live by no bullshit and the bold, honest truth when you play games. You don't kiss ass and demand attention. That's right. I'll be honest with you no matter what. I'm not going to make shit up. Okay? And I'm going to tell you my honest thoughts about a game. I don't have any loyalty to anyone. I'm never going to be a paid shill where I'm going to tell you something's good when it's not, just because I'm taking a paycheck for it. I would never do that. So, you know, when you're watching my content, it's 100% honesty for me. At the same time, the reason I still get to put out that kind of honest content is because you guys support me with crowdfunding. So it goes hand in hand. It works. Only Iced Derek cheered. He said, I'll be honest, I found you through that Down the Rabbit Hole video. You know, it has millions of views. I think 5 million views now, which help advertise you a lot. I'm sure it does, but I'm never going to watch it. You know, the thing is, how all these people make these videos about me, has one of these people ever spoken to me? Nope. Not a single person wanted an interview, wanted my take. They just do the negative spin shit constantly because that's what gets them the clickbait views. So I'm not going to play that game and watch that garbage. VaultBoy1992 has subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much for the sub and the support. G-Wagon Girl 6x6. Jesus Christ, what a name. Timmy, $20 says, may the force be with you, my lord. Well, thank you. What a name. Let's get you up on the leaderboard for a $20 tip. Very generous. I have no idea what this is a reference to. Who knows at this point? Now up to $39 in tips. Thank you, guys. Of course, everyone in Stream Chat is now saying, no, I watched it. No, I really didn't. I've never seen a single second of that Down the Rabbit Hole video. It shows up in related videos because all the negative videos always show up in related videos on YouTube, but I've never clicked it once. Conversalism cheered and says, crazy, I actually remember you from 2012, but I don't remember for what. I've been on and off for some reason. I keep watching, especially with the corona situation now. I wish you health and luck and hope that you get to do this as long as you want to do it. Thank you. That's a very nice sentiment. I really appreciate that, Conversalism. LP101 tipped me $1 and says, I'm thinking of buying Danganronpa Reloaded. Is it chill and relaxing? How long is it? I don't know what Reloaded is. I've played Danganronpa 1 and 2, and the games are incredibly long, just to warn you. somewhat, 40 plus hours. I'm not kidding. Even though they're visual novels, they are incredibly long-winded games. They're good, especially if you like murder mysteries. They're really good, in that regard. But is it chill and relaxing? I mean, if you're just kind of playing it at your own pace and you're in no rush to finish it, I would say so. Although keep in mind, there's gore and murder, brutal murders. So understand that. It's certainly not going to be a game where it's just like completely relaxed when, people get murdered around you. See what I'm saying? Okay. Retro Jim Cheer says, do you think the Xbox tweet could unintentionally encourage those type of people to do harmful things even though it was intended to be innocent? No, because there was nothing malicious in the Xbox tweet. You see, there's a difference between a lighthearted joke and a 2-hour-long montage video basically set up to say that I'm a terrible person and everything I do is bad. You see what I mean? Or a completely slanderous lie video about things that are untrue about me. There's a big difference. And that's the thing. People need to be able to discern the difference. Most people can. You're absolutely right. Some people can't. Now, the thing is, no. With humor, of course, it's subjective. There's never going to be an objective way to measure humor because everyone's different. But for me, when I see a tweet from Xbox referencing a bunch of things that I regularly have said in my content over the last decade, and they reference me, I think that's cool. A major games maker and a major player in gaming. And by the way, a company who I've played a lot of their shit over the last decade. I mean, Xbox 360 was my go-to console of the last console gen, so I played almost everything on Xbox 360. To reference me and know who I am, that's cool, right? That doesn't make me mad. That makes me cool. That's cool. A cool thing. It's a pop culture reference. It means I'm pertinent in pop culture, which is nice. But no, there's a difference between that. There's definitely a difference between a lighthearted, joke or jab, right? Versus a actual concerted effort to basically harp on my shortcomings and make me look bad. Okay? Gorilla X Pimp cheered. Says Doctor Who. It was Dr. Dickerson, Dr. Finger. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, but thanks for the cheer. Targon's Embrace tipped me $1. Says, sorry if it's ignorant. Could you skip out buying an Xbox Series X? All the exclusives you need should also be on PC. I can't play games on PC. My PC is 6 years old. All right? My PC cannot really run high-end games while capturing and streaming at the same time. I've tried, and it chops up and looks like shit. So you're right. If I had a high-end gaming PC plus another PC to capture and broadcast from, then I could do that, but I don't have it. Fruits07 Cheers says, you did way better in the beta of Call of Duty Cold War than me. I sucked at the beta. Don't feel bad, especially if you didn't play the old school Call of Duties. All right? I wouldn't blame you for sucking in this beta, because this beta plays like Black Ops 1 and 2. And so if you didn't play those old school games, you don't even have the basis of doing well, because the recent games have been so fucking different, right? So don't feel bad at all, I would say. But thanks for the cheer. Spawn Killer tipped me $1. I tried to play Call of Duty Cold War. My God, the game's so buggy. I couldn't play it anymore. The players were jumping all over the place. Oh, that's not buggy. That's people, again, who were taught from the last, 6 years, 7 years of gaming of Call of Duty that jumping is a good strategy. I mean, there was even a Call of Duty there where double jumping or boost jumping was the actual strategy to win. As stupid as it was. So, it is what it is. 672 tipped me $6.72 and says, if you could invite 2 people to dinner, living or dead, who would you invite? I hate questions like this. Because I've explained this a bunch of times. Maybe you're not aware, 672. But I'm the kind of person that I don't really idolize anyone. And in my life, many times over the years, I've been asked questions such as, oh, who do you look up to? Who's your idol? Who do you aspire to be? Who inspired you to do this and that? And I'll be honest, a couple people inspired me over the years. Howard Stern, being a rebel like he was on the radio, and basically sticking it to everyone who told him that his content sucked or whatever and was irreverent or whatever. And the fact that he's persevered over the years kind of inspired me to make irreverent kind of commentary on gameplay videos when I first did it. And then I'd say the Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic. 2 guys who, literally with no budget, right, showed that pure talent, good writing, good timing, just comedic writing could prevail on the internet even with zero budget. Those people kind of inspired me to do videos because I said, I don't need to have a lot of money. I don't need to have backing. I don't need to have support to do it. I can just fuck around and make funny videos. And as long as people find me funny, that's all that matters. And that's how this whole thing got started 12 years ago. All right. But just because those people inspired me doesn't mean that I want to have dinner with them. In fact, I could care less. I'm serious. I would not want to sit down with Howard Stern or Doug or James and have dinner with them because I don't care. Like, I appreciate what they did. I appreciate their content, but I don't want to meet them personally. I don't want to be their friend. I wouldn't want their autograph. I don't care. That's just how I am. Just like I would never go to a convention and pay to wait in line to get an autograph from some celebrity. That's the last thing I would do anywhere. I don't give two fucks. Sway Burnell did a 300-bit cheer, biggest cheer of the day, and says, am I rocking in my chair? Somewhat I am, yes, as you guys know, because of my back injury. Even though I would say my back injury is pretty much almost non-existent to this day, I still kind of feel uncomfortable sitting still. I do. I feel uncomfortable if I were to sit perfectly still. I have to kind of move around a bit to feel comfortable. So that's why you could probably hear me moving around in front of my mic. Spartan King Sheeran says, haven't been listening to recent P streams. Are you playing the Crown Tundra Sword and Shield DLC? Yes. Thank you for the cheer. Griffin Box, thank you for the $1 tip. And no, I have not seen the Andy Dick video, nor do I care about it. I'll never care about it. Okay, up to $49 in tips. Thank you, guys. Sway Burnell did another cheer, 500 bits this time. Said, Ziggy Piggy, Ziggy Piggy. That's a reference to Bill and Ted. And, of course, that's also a reference to my commentary on A Machine for Pigs that I played yesterday. And that's a disgusting belch. MPlayer164 tipped me $1. Says, did you ever see the Donkey Kong Country promotional images with the computer-generated export? Sneaky second question. Did you ever notice how it looks like Donkey Kong is wearing sleeves made of hair? And the answer is no. To both questions. But thank you for the $1 tip. I appreciate that. Okay. Moving right along. Captain Charisma tipped me $1.30. He says, I don't know if this is going to work with the new tipping rules. I saw a video of you with a Machinima Xbox. You still have that or even remember it? Yes, what happened was Machinima at one point was launching an app on the Xbox 360. And this app basically highlighted the content of the content creators that were under the Machinima partnership umbrella. Okay? They selected me and a few other of the top content creators at the time to basically receive these branded Xboxes, show them off in a video, and then show off the app. Alright? And that's all it was. It wasn't like, I don't think I got paid for it or anything. It was just, they sent me a free Xbox. I said, hey, my Xbox 360s die so frequently, I'm not going to complain if you send me an extra one. I think I went through like 8 Xbox 360s or some shit during the life cycle of that console. So, yeah, I do remember that. But I didn't benefit from it. It was hilarious because they were like, oh, if people watch your videos through the Xbox, or excuse me, through the Machinima app on Xbox, you know, we're going to give you like promotional bonus money or whatever. I never saw a dime of it. Apparently what happened was the payout for people watching videos on that app was way less than people actually just watching the videos on YouTube. So it actually hurt me for people to watch the videos on the app than on YouTube. It actually was a negative. And in addition to that, most people just didn't care about the app. They tried using it and complained about it constantly, that it lagged and it didn't work right. So everyone just ended up watching everything on YouTube anyway. It was just another one of their ridiculously stupid failed efforts over at Machinima. Like all of them. LP101 tipped me $1 and said 2 more things. It's a remaster of 1 and 2 on PS4 where you'll be playing Planet Coaster. You create your own theme park. You can explore your own world too. On the 12th, maybe on PS5. I have 10 games or more for PS5. Not one of the ones I'm planning on playing, Planet Coaster. I mean, I'm not saying that I will never play it. I'm just saying with the scope of the amazing amount of games that are coming out in November that I'm already interested in at a high level, Planet Coaster is like the bottom of the barrel list. Maybe I will eventually check it out, but not really something I'm planning on doing right now. Okay? Let us conquer a cheer. And says, read this thoroughly before banning me. You're saying, cheers and subs help in long term. Tips help in short term. Doesn't it help you budget your money better? If you save your money so you don't overspend, isn't overspending what caused you to go into bankruptcy? I feel we're helping you budget your money better. Let us Conqueror I don't know what else to say because I explain matter-of-factly every single day what's going on. Okay? I did budget. All right? I did actually budget based on the money that was coming in. I budgeted out things to spend on. I knew, I hoped that some of these big cheers that were coming in were going to be legit. And I was like, man, when that money comes in, that's going to cover this, that's going to cover that. The problem is when you're a streamer like me, you can't budget. Because on a daily basis, you have no idea what you're going to make. On top of that, now with these chargebacks, I have no idea what real money I'm making. Today, it could look like I'm making a certain amount of tips, and then half of that gets taken away from me later on, and I have zero control over it. So as much as you would like to live in this weird pipe dream world where rainbows and unicorns dictate everything that happens on a live stream, that's not the case. I have no clue what's going on a daily basis because of the chaotic nature of this business. Now, the good news is, you guys every day come and support the streams via crowdfunding, and overall, I'm able to keep doing what I need to do. Even with all the malicious acts against me, the fraud, the chargebacks, I'm still good. But for you to basically try to waggle your finger at me here in a cheer and say, you should be budgeting better, Sonny, is kind of like saying, you know, why I should be psychic. I should be psychic and know what I'm going to make on a daily basis. And you know what I mean? I can't. Like, I saw what I made in September and said, oh, okay, I'm good. Then all of a sudden, half of the tips I made in September got charged back out of nowhere. It wasn't expected. Now, how am I supposed to prepare for that? You can't. And that's the point I seem to be trying to make, and you just can't get it through your goddamn head. Let me put it this way, Let Us Conquer. This is as matter of fact as I can put it. You don't know any better than me, so shut the fuck up. There you go. JBro789 did 100-bit cheers. I respect your decision to not hunt waifu since it might cause issues with your marriage. It has nothing to do with my marriage. It has more to do with the fact that I'm a mature dude who doesn't give two fucks about that. And the game isn't about that anyway. People who turn it into that are immature, and I'm not going to play that game. And I've already said that at the beginning of this stream, and I'll say it again. We're not doing that, so you might as well just get that out of your system. Silly and fun, positive man cheered and said, do you think after COVID's over, you'll ever want to do a meet and greet with fans again? I have no idea. And certainly that's nothing that we can even start to think about right now, so let's just not talk about it. Spawn Killer tipped $1, said, I didn't mean bunny hopping. I meant they were skipping all over the place. It was really buggy. Oh, okay. Yeah, so yesterday, this was actually pretty funny. So a guy, excuse me, a guy who was on my team, he jumped. And when he jumped, he spun in place 3 times in midair, firing wildly in a circle before he landed. I'm pretty sure you can't spin in place 3 times in midair before you land in the game. It happens. If the connection's bad, some weird shit happens. So, gotcha. And then Lucansta tipped me $1. So if you go on holiday somewhere, would it be cold or hot weather? Hope you have a good time playing this game. I don't know. It's not really a thing that we're thinking about right now, considering, number one, I wouldn't afford it, and number two, we couldn't do it anyway because of COVID. So, again, these kind of what-if questions are kind of silly when we have no idea what's going to happen with the state of the world. And then Let Us Conquer cheered again and said, thanks for the positive reaction. Have a great day. You're one of a kind. You're right, I am one of a kind. I'm in a one-of-a-kind situation, and I got one-of-a-kind people like you who think that they know better than me, and you're going to try to fucking, you know, basically say that you know better than me and shame on me for not budgeting like I don't know what I'm doing. And, you know, it's very appreciated. Put it that way. Okay, guys. Let's take a break. Oh, actually, I got to do shout-outs. Hold on. Shout-outs to those who've cheered so far today. We've got quite a lot of cheers. Jay Hawkwood in 10th place, Bubble Buddy in 9th. A 6-way tie between Big Fat Jiggly, Iconic Christian, Retro Jim, Gorilla X Pimp, J Bro, and Silly Fun Positive Man. Conservatialism is in 2nd, and Sway Burnell is in 1st. Thanks to those who gifted subs so far, Golden Nobles and Big Fat Jiggly. Appreciate that. All right, now let's go on break. I've had to use the bathroom for the past half an hour and been holding it in. When I come back, we're checking out Genshin Impact. All right, guys, thanks. I'll see you after the break.